Coming up on EOP News, the Mayans predicted the Earth's demise in December of 2012, but will their prophecy come true? We will find out more.
Plus, the passing of Miss Adrienne Phillips, Peninsula High icon. All that and more coming up on EOP News. Hi, and welcome to Eye of the Panther News. I'm Vikram Dewan.
And I'm Brittany Wendorf. On September 11th, 2001, the Twin Towers fell down in New York City. And on September 11th, 2009, the third tower fell down, said friend of Mrs. Phillips, Dr. Dan Fitchner. And indeed, the entire Peninsula High School family agrees.
On September 11th, 2009, a beloved member of the PVPHS faculty passed away. Mrs. Adrienne Phillips was one of the EHAP teachers. Here at Peninsula, she dedicated her time and energy to her students and is survived by her husband and 3 children. We interviewed one of her former students about what he remembers and loved most about Mrs. Phillips.
Oh boy. The thing that I remember most about Miss Phillips was just like how dedicated she was to her students, and like, that was a really amazing thing about Miss Phillips. It's just she would always, if she said she was going to do something for her students, she would do it, and she never backed down. She was just such a trooper,
Due to her love and dedication to the PV School District, she touched numerous faculty members just as much as her students. Over the last 50 years that she has been teaching, she formed friendships that are going to be missed tremendously. We talked with some of her closest friends about what they are going to miss the most about her.
Mrs. Phillips was absolutely one of a kind. She was very, very bright, very, very demanding of herself and her students. She taught them how to write. She prepared them for college. But when Mrs. Phillips wanted something, she wanted something. And she would actually stalk me on campus trying to find me, and I would hide from her. And one day I had run into the men's restroom to hide for her, and guess who followed me right into the restroom? Mrs. Phillips. And I said, Mrs. Phillips, I'm going to the bathroom. And she said, this is important. That's my remembrance of Adrienne Phillips. I will miss her. She was a dear friend.
I remember Mrs. Phillips. A really fond memory that keeps going through my mind is the time that she fell over a box and she needed to be rushed to emergency hospital. But on the way, even though she was in pain, she made me stop at a card store to get a card for her sick friend, and she made me stop at the video store to rent a video on genocide so that her students would have a fabulous lesson without her. That's so much like her that she would put other people before herself. She always demanded so much of me as her team teacher, but it was always for the good of others, for to heal the land, or to give people warm regards, or to ship boxes to the third world. She was always in a state of mind that put others before her. So even though at times she could be amazingly demanding, it was always for the right reasons.
Mrs. Phillips' memory made a huge impact on the whole Peninsula family. We now ask you to take a moment of silence in loving memory of one of the most influential teachers that has taught on this campus.
In his jealous sky, when we walked in the fields of gold, when we walked in the fields of gold, when we walked in the fields of gold.
Thanks, Mackenzie. December 21st, 2012 is a day that has been rumored to be a day of destruction and demise, and a new movie by Sony Pictures is turning this nightmare into reality.
There have been many theories and controversies about this so-called mass extinction, also known as Armageddon. This November, a movie titled 2012 will be coming to theaters, which is based on events unfolding before the world's demise.
I don't think the world's gonna end.
What? I've never even heard of this.
Well, by then I'll be like twice as buff, so the sun won't tase me.
The Mayan calendar ends on December 21st, 2012 at 11:11 a.m. People say this may be a day of spiritual and positive change or a day of disaster and destruction.
I personally don't believe in the 2012 thing because throughout history people have always said, oh, this is going to be the year, this is going to be the end. And I'm also hoping that it doesn't happen because I won't graduate college till 2014, so I've worked too hard to not get to do that.
So when's the world going to end?
December 21st, 2012.
Right before Christmas?
Well, as long as Santa makes it in my house, I don't really care.
I think we're going to get nuked and then everybody's going to go live on the moon.
The Mayans prophesied in 1999 that we only have 13 years to change our conscious attitude, to stay away from the path of self-destruction and instead move on to a path that broadens our horizons to unite us, humans, with all that exists. What do you believe? Will this day end like any normal day, or will it end with terror? Myth or not, we should probably all be ready for something crazy to happen. This is Taylor Gillette, Eye of the Panther News.
Thanks, Taylor. That's just about it for EOP, but before we go, here are a few reminders.
Next Wednesday, October 14th, is the last day you can drop or level down in a class without a penalty.
We encourage everyone to come out and support our football team at every game, even though the zoo has been put on hiatus. If we all come together and show our support in a positive way, Mr. Johnson has stated he will reinstate the zoo this football season for a game against PV High. So Panthers, come out this Friday and show your support for our football team. Don't wear your zoo shirts this Friday, just come wearing black and yellow. And let's cheer together so that we can get our zoo back for our most important game against PV High. We will have a full story into the zoo closure on our next show.
Thanks for watching EOP. I'm Vikram Dewan.
And I'm Brittany Wendorf. See you later, Panthers.
Sirens tell me things could still be worse.